Welcome back to comics, to Hot Comics, and the works of Michael Moorcock, Elric, and first and foremost, Phillippe Druillet. And we got the contribution of Cawthorne. This is the Eternal Champion collection. So, how can you not love this? I mean, look at the work of Druillet. Druillet is like magnifique. And this is a nice collection of what do you call it? I guess a good introduction to Elric. Elric. So when Game of Thrones came out, I can't believe we're going to talk about all of this. You're going to have to excuse me, but I'm going to talk about this because I want to talk about it. I went in a rabbit hole about George R. R. Martin and what influenced him to create Game of Thrones. And the biggest prototype and the biggest revelation that I found out is that Elric, part of the Eternal Champion and the what do you call it, multiverse, because Michael Moorcock, alongside at the same time with Isaac Asimov, kind of like we're working at the same time around there in the 60s, doing their own literature. And obviously Isaac Asimov created the foundations and his literal material, his library of books. And Moorcock was creating his own universe at that stage, and he created the one concept of the Eternal Champion. And the Eternal Champion is the hero that has come across many times in different eras, epochs, and he is literally the same character reincarnate, and from many periods of times. And he comes in as a knight, sometimes he comes as a warrior, and all that sort of thing. So the idea was that they all connect in a multiverse. So what Marvel later on probably took away from that was like, oh, we can do that with our characters, and they did. But Michael Moorcock was the one that created that idea. He was the one that created that inception of multiverse and the same character in many different realities. Anyway, long story short, what I'm trying to get to is that Elric was commissioned, or I think because Moorcock was doing crazy things like writing one book in a day or in a week or something ridiculous as that. And that's why he's been polarizing for a lot of readers, because he's have a very fertile mind of creating extremely cool ideas, but writing it down in such a rush that the style of writing is just a bit take it or leave it sort of thing. So this being a trilogy that just got republished recently, and we had Michael Whalem doing one of the most famous covers for Elric, and then we had Gerald Brom doing another cover for Elric, and then we had another illustrator doing the third book. I can't remember who did that, which was, I think, watercolor sort of base. Like it was kind of like Rebecca Gaia who does these beautiful watercolor drawings, but I don't think it's her who did that cover. But anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that Elric is just this character that I think the way it goes, the mythology about how he came up with the idea is that like a publisher came in and said to Michael Moorcock, can you create a character like Conan the Barbarian, like Robert E. Howard, which these stories have a lot of that. And he said yes. This is the works of Michael Cawthorne, and I'm gonna bring in all of the things and the ideas that come in onto this, because this is fantastic, awesome stuff. And if you like fantasy, you like Robert E. Howard, you like George Martin and Game of Thrones, the Song of Ice and Fire, and all that sort of stuff, this is gonna be in your wheelhouse. So, I mean, Stormbringer. Anyway, it's a bit on the nose, isn't it? So the editor goes to Michael Moorcock and he goes, "Can you make like a Conan the Barbarian sort of story?" And that gave him an idea. But Conan the Barbarian's like a warrior, super strong, like a man's man, and he's all tan, bronze, like a bodybuilder, right? And then he's got piercing blue eyes, and Conan's like, what Conan is. It's awesome, and he loves women, and he just saves the day and fights and lives to live. Moorcock creates like Elric, and Elric's like this brewing, sickly, ghostly looking character. This is the total opposite of Conan, and has a super sword. And he's kind of like a warlock. He's like a wizard, warrior character who writes dragons. So this is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm bringing in George Martin, because I'm pretty sure George Martin was reading these books and sort of went, oh, this is awesome, and took a lot of those ideas and makes a lot of homages across Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is about the politics, right? Let's just face the fact that why it is so alluring and so cool is because he does subversive stuff where you can never see something happening, like, and I'm going to spoil this for whoever that hasn't been spoiled already. Ned Stark is a good example. I was shocked when Ned Stark lost his head, and you just go like, what? He had the balls to kill that character? What? Why? So going back to Michael Moorcock's idea of Elric. Elric is this sickly, skinny, and warrior, like a ruler of a kingdom. He's like the king. Whether Conan becomes king by his own hands, this guy's already inherited, and then loses everything, and has to walk the earth like Cain in the Kung Fu, but with the sword, and the sword is like possessed, the Stormbringer, which George Martin made a comment on Game of Thrones. Anyway, I keep on digressing. So there's incest, like George Martin likes to have incest on his books, and this dark magic, and he's kind of like a prototype. What do you call it? What Elric is? He's kind of like a prototype to what do you call it? To the Targaryens. Again, he's riding dragons, as you can sort of see here, and they come out of this island like in Game of Thrones, and we got monsters. This is a very rich world that James Cawthorne did in these issues, so it's beautiful work as well. And see here is like he brings what do you call it, the Stormbringer. That sword floats, like levitates and shit. So it's very, 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 very cool. And Elric's biggest foe is his own cousin, and he's in love with his cousin. So this is where the incest. I think incest is not a good thing, people. I think that's a major joke about the whole thing. It's like, incest is not a good thing. So anyway, in this universe, Elric is in epic battles, and I'm of the opinion that they should try to do this into a TV series. I mean, Michael Moorcock's still around, and his biggest market, I think, is in the European market. I think France has like a lot of translated books of his, because he's written a lot. I mean, the whole multiverse, the Eternal Warrior, and I had made these comments before, because the first time I kind of came across with Michael's work was on Mr. Moorcock's work was on with Jerry Cornelius. Jerry Cornelius was another property that they even made a movie about, and I was not aware of this, because I kept on thinking that Jerry Cornelius was an invention by Jean Giraud, Mobius. But Jerry Cornelius is a character that Moorcock created. It's like a James Bond that dresses like Austin Powers. So maybe that's where Austin Powers came from. I don't know. Michael Moorcock's been writing down since the 60s, so he's got probably more influence than a lot of than what we think, and he's gone into obscurity. I think there's less commentary about his work, but look at this. They're riding dragons. This is beautiful, this stuff. And there's witches, and there's all of these warfare. So they should totally make this into a what do you call it? Into a series. Now this is contribution by Phillippe Druillet. Druillet, oh my god, I mean, it's so stimulating to see this work. So this looks to me like the Targaryen Empire, you know, that fell on the doom of Valyria. You know, look at this. Beautiful work, beautiful panels. I mean, I could be staring at this all day, the entire day, and be hypnotized. I mean, it's so captivating, you know. Druillet's work is just hypnotic. It's beautiful material. And this book is super duper available and affordable. And if you love Druillet, yes, please, Garzon. I say yes, Garzon. Yeah, they color this, I think, on the heavy metal. I think these were polished on the heavy metal, if I'm not incorrect. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, he talks to dragons, and the dragons got like a, you know, a relationship with Elric. Is Elric with the Stormbringer there. Beautiful stuff. Only Druillet. Okay, so here we go, science fantasy. Stormbringer. So these are the early renditions of Elric. And now when you see, what do you call it, House of Dragons, and you see Doctor Who's character, I can't remember the name of the actor, Matt Smith's character, Aemon Targaryen, he's sporting a very similar, what do you call it, set of armor. Yeah, okay, so that dude. Robert Gould. Okay, so that's the dude who did this. I was confusing him with this. Sorry, Robert. I thought Rebecca Guy had done that. and yeah, look at this. Phillippe Druillet. No, it's not the heavy metal. It looks heavy metal-ish. Must have been maybe the publication, Metal Orlon. And these are the other covers for the newer books. Yeah, Elric, what a collection of what a large collection of books. So here's the Moorcock library. So these are the other books that have come out. Yeah, this is quite a thing that you can jump on, you know, cool stuff. Cool stuff. And this is the new series that has come out by French artists. We'll take a look at that some other time. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to see this. Whet your appetite. This is the Titan print of Elric by Michael Moorcock and Phillippe Druillet with James Cawthorne. Beautiful work. Beautiful. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Please like and subscribe. And until next time. Bye-bye.